Okay guys, so I'm currently at Sephora, Michigan Avenue, and I'm so excited because I'm going to Fashion Week at the end of this week, and I wanted to try something really bold with a bold eye color, bold eyeshadow, or bold eyeliner, and I don't know the first thing about doing any of that, so I'm turning to the professionals. I'm getting my makeup professionally done. I'm working with a Pat McGrath artist who's also going to be backstage at Fashion Week. I can't wait to see how all of this turns out, so stay tuned. We're going to go with a lilac lavender eyelid, which is going to be really pretty for a monochromatic look that I have planned for Fashion Week.
My name is Miranda Carey. I am a Chicago-based makeup artist. I've been doing makeup for about 5 years, and for the last year of those 5 years, I've been actually working with Pat McGrath Labs as a sales and education coordinator in the Midwest. Today, the lovely Natalie has come into my favorite Sephora, Michigan Avenue. We're gonna get down with a Pat McGrath Labs New York Fashion Week makeup look. So we're gonna achieve a gorgeous pop of color today. We're gonna do a little bit of texture play, and we're gonna show her how to create a flawless complexion using Sublime Perfection, the system. Pat McGrath Labs Gondola at Sephora, Michigan Avenue. We're going to use the new Sublime Perfection foundation on you today. The system just launched about a month ago, and we're going to get some fun pops of color and get you ready for New York Fashion Week. Orange is gorgeous. We have an obsessed color that's like the most gorgeous. Obsessed with this lavender as well. Pink. So we can kind of dabble in any of these, and we'll also pair with like the Mothership eyeshadow palette. Give you like a little bit of glow or dimension on the eyelid if we have like a base with the lipstick. Okay. It could be fun to layer.
For my skin tone and like my hair color, what color do you think is going to be really cool if we kind of like blow one of those up on my eyes?
I feel like I would either do one of the pastels. Okay. I think it'll be kind of a fun contrast because I think pastels are usually reserved for like spring, summer. Yeah. I think it'll be fun to transition it into fall. Okay. Especially on the tail end of some of this warm weather. And with your lighter hair but like really rich eyes, I think one of the pastel colors might be gorgeous.
I would lean toward the lavender, like lavender? The purple,
Let's do it. Amazing. Okay, so let's definitely rock with a little bit of faux pas. I'm thinking some black coffee. We definitely need some Fetishized mascara. I want to say because we're using the lavender, I'm going to grab Mothership 1. This is like a backstage essential. And then we for sure need our highlighting stick. And then we got to color match you for Sublime Perfection foundation. Unfilled brow.
Beautiful. I like it. Good? Yeah, I love it.
We want to create a pop of color on the eye. We want it to be fun and vibrant. So I'm actually going to use one of Pat McGrath's matte trans lipsticks. The shade is Faux Pas. So I'm going to take this and I'm actually just going to kind of like emulsify it on my hand. And we're going to use this as a cream shadow kind of. So we're going to use it to build like a sheer wash of color on the eye and build it up to get a little bit of impact out of it. And then we're going to pair it with Mothership 1 to build some dimension and finish the look.
So with using a lipstick as an eyeshadow, like my first concern would be like, okay, this is going to crease, it's going to come off. So like you obviously put a primer on it, or how do you make sure it stays all day?
Sometimes you can do a primer. You have very oily eyelids, yes? Yes. You have oily skin, so maybe we will lay down a primer, but even still doing this and like just make sure you set it with either an eyeshadow or translucent powder. Okay. Usually we have powder, translucent powder, so using your lipstick and your translucent powder is a really great like beauty hack way.
Okay. Do you see a lot of people using lipstick as eyeshadow in the beauty world?
So I think more in the pro space, yes. In the retail sales space, of course, you know, there's products for everything. So of course you need a product for everything. But I think when you want to really be more like minimalistic or sustainable or just travel a little bit lighter, think like a pro and just multi-use. I'm just gonna work this on the lid. If you're, when in doubt, use a smaller brush. If you go too big with the brush, you're gonna lose your control. So like this brush that I'm using right now is probably the largest brush that I would use on your eye. I can give you some Sephora brush numbers for reference. But you just don't ever want to, like, I'm gonna have you open up your eye for me, and I love doing it with it open so we can see how much like crease space we have to play in. We don't want to take it too much into the brow, but we do want to kind of push it a little bit so it's a little bit more fun.
And now with like a diffuse kind of color like this, do you, because I usually always line my eyes with like a cat eye, are these looks more impactful with just like pop of color, or do you also advise doing a line? So I'm going to show you how we're going to incorporate a little bit of definition on the eye while still keeping it quite hazy feeling. Because once you lay down that graphic line, I think it starts to feel just a little bit more hard. Like it becomes a little bit more like punk rock. Like a wing always has an attitude to it. Like a wing is always tough. So with this, like I think we want it to feel very soft and girly and like feminine. But we still want that definition on the eye. So I'm going to show you how to create a liner that's like lifted but still soft. With this, it's like, you know, the focus, the emphasis is up here on the eyes. So do you usually like contour a face with this kind of look, or do you go for like the more natural? Because I feel like that's like what I've seen with the pop of color. You go for like more dewy natural skin rather than like a structured contoured face. So go ahead and close for me. When I contour, I always do it soft. So it would be like a soft sculpt. However, I think sometimes it can go both ways. If this was a very graphic, colorful look, I would probably keep your skin really soft and natural. I might add a little bit of shape to the face in a very soft way just so you still feel structured with a very diffused eye. So you have kind of that balance of soft but structured. But I'll probably skip blush for this look because I think you have a little bit more like natural rosiness to the cheek, which I love, and it already peeks through a little bit because we did a more natural complexion. And I want the color to be on the eye, so I don't want to compete with it with a super like rosy cheek. So I'm just building this in. So we're layering like over that softer wash initially with a little bit more pigment so it looks more vibrant. So check it out. Woo! That is so cool. Fun. But I also love using concealer to help shape the eye. So if you feel like you're doing a diffused look and you over diffuse, like you're super blended, you're into the brow, you're like drooping down, taking a little concealer on a precise blending brush, and what we can do, I can go, instead of using like a brow highlight, I can take the concealer and I can soften up the edge. This helps with the blend to control your shape a little bit. So a little concealer, and then I love to do concealer and go on the edge here, just to like lift the eye. Oh wow. Because we want to be nice and lifted on that edge. But I want it to look soft. I don't want it to be like graphic. And I'm not going to put the purple under your eye because I want you to look awake. And I think sometimes when you put it under it, like pastels under the eye, I think sometimes can look a little like sick. You see how we kind of shaped that eye a little bit more? Ooh, it's so pretty. I might take it down even like a little here, just so you're not feeling too like round. It definitely gives it some definition, like more shape. So just a little concealer. That's you can even do it with your face powder too. But it doesn't have to be just eye products on the eye. We're using lipstick and you know, concealer. Like this, and just go like right at the outer corner. And this is just building a little bit of dimension. Still keeping the lavender, and then going back over with our lavender brush. It adds like the slightest like shift. I definitely see that like slight. Just give a little dimension because we want it to look like a wash of color, one color, but we also want it to look like it's, you know, more interesting than that. So this is just adding a little bit of interest. And that's why I like using the same brushes for different things, because if I go over with this lavender brush again and diffuse that color out. With a translucent powder, this one from PATMcGrath is so lightweight so it won't look like weird laying on top of the lipstick. So go ahead and close for me. I'm just gonna like flick this over the eyelid, and this is gonna take away any like wetness that maybe was like hiding out in that like lipstick primer mixture, so that we can set it down and lock it in. The
powder actually will also use it on your face, but it performs really well through sweat and sebum. So we love that. Go ahead and close. So I'm gonna take this and just smudge right in between those lashes. You can go a little thicker on the outer edge, kind of like you would in a wing liner, but this is a very soft open up for me. So this is still, it doesn't look like a line. It just looks like...
Oh yeah, it looks very natural.
Because we don't want to take away from the purple. And the second I lay down like a black thick liner on here, that's all you're gonna see. I think in New York too, like having a look like this, especially with some of those like edgier outfits, it can be very cool.
Yeah, it's like, it's super subtle. It doesn't take away at all, but you can tell that it's definitely...
Thickens up the lash line, especially when we get that mascara on. This palette's really special. These first 6 colors in the palette are pressed eyeshadows. They're inspired by, Pat created them to mimic the colors that she always carries in her kit backstage. They're like her basics for every look. She starts every look with these colors. So I use these colors mixed together for a little fill on the brow. We played with this one on the eye. On the outer corner, if you didn't have that black coffee liner, you could like mix these together to create like a gorgeous, rich, dark brown. You have a gorgeous highlight color for that inner corner or brow bone when you need it. And then these guys are baked pigments on the bottom, so you can add water to them and they turn into liquid eyeshadows. And they can like turn any look up. So say this was your fun daytime look and you wanted to pop it up for nighttime, you could totally take like this color and like press it all over the eye to turn it into like a glitzy like disco eye, which would be really fun.
So we're also contouring with this palette.
Ultimate Taupe, Mothership 1.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
And so we're just gonna lay a little bit of this gloss like through the center of the lip to give added fullness. And I love that like the pink reflect in this adds to like our whimsical vibe. Let me get my
So this is the after. It's truly amazing. It's like exactly what I wanted, and I've never done a look like this. I've really never like had my makeup professionally done before, so this is like amazing.